Hello again, I am Blunty. In the video previous to this, I took this, which is an RX VEGA 56, and I slammed it against this, which is a GTX 1070, up against some 1080p gameplay. And if for whatever reason you haven't seen that video yet, spoiler alert, but the RX VEGA 56 not only held its own against an overclocked GTX 1070, but beat it in several tests. So what's going to happen when we put it up against 1440p gaming? Let's find out, shall we? That was a bit overly dramatic. Let's find out! Just do it! Do it! Do it! Calm down. Play some games. Same games, same very high or ultra settings where appropriate. The only thing I changed was moving from 1080p to 1440p. The gameplay was captured at 1440p natively using each brand's respective built-in video recording function, because I don't have a capture device that'll do 1440p, GeForce Experience Share for NVIDIA, and of course Relive recording for AMD. As I've explored in the past in a video, both these methods have very little but not zero effect on frame rate, just so you know. But for all practical purposes, the impact is utterly negligible for the purposes of these tests. So as you've been seeing, it's clear that for 1440p GTA 5 on either card, you'll be wanting to wind back from those maxed out graphics settings a bit, but it's also clear that the GeForce card has an edge. Project Cars is a wash, both cards frames per second holding in the mid-30s for the larger portion of the time, reaching into the mid-40s when things are a little easier. And again, 1440p players will want to wind down the settings slightly for this game. Rise of the Tomb Raider, however, still maintains a nicely playable frame rate of around 60 frames per second on both cards, with everything maxed. It'll dive to 45 frames per second and spike to the 70s, which is a decent sweet spot for playing this game. And as far as I'm concerned, there is no clear performance winner between the cards. Interestingly, The Witcher 3, another game that has NVIDIA tech buried deep inside it, performs better on the VEGA 56 at 1440p. That's interesting. Coming back to Lawbreakers, it's a close match, though like the 1080p test, it's the VEGA scoring a higher frame rate more of the time. Another familiar story with Overwatch, where the 1080p test had the Nvidia cards slightly in front, but both delivering extremely playable results in the triple-digit frame rate world.
You needed a doctor?
Watch Dogs 2 saw the Vega take a bigger hit at 1440p, but once more, both cards delivering frame rates that keep the game nicely playable, by which I mean at or above 45 frames per second for this particular game.
Police are on their way. Please remain calm.
And finally, in Battlefield 1, it's an easy win for Vega. I actually had to reinstall the Vega card and run this game again to double check this result. It's a bigger gap than I'd anticipated. But the simple story told here is this. As I said in the primary review video for the RX Vega 56, it is, without doubt, a very competitive GPU against the popular GTX 1070 it is matched against, and at a lower price tag. These tests again were with a factory overclocked GTX 1070, which you can buy right now for $450 US, while the stock overclocked Vega that I used in the same currency costs you $399. It is good to have some legitimate and fierce competition back in the marketplace. I mean, it's not like the AMD cards sucked, but they were lagging behind Nvidia. Now, at least at first splash with the 56 versus the 1070, they're step for step. Of course, now we play the waiting game to see if and when Nvidia have an answer to this, because it has been a year since the 1070s came out. You have to think, you have to know that Nvidia are preparing. What, preparing? They're preparing, preparatory. Whatever they've got coming next is surely going to poke its head out of the shadows sometime soon, especially if the trend that is being set up here with the RX Vega 56 continues on with the RX Vega 64 and whatever else comes along in this family of cards. It's a fun time to be a gamer, don't you think? Thanks for watching. I am Blunty, and we'll catch you next time.
My problem.
Hello? We need an ambulance here, right now.
Oh!
911, state your emergency, please. There's a shooter. Send someone, anyone.
Let's get you healed up. Push on. Oh, turn it up.